let's talk about an Uber rider scam that failed. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and this is Real Rideshare Stories. So I got a pretty crazy story for you today, and it's coming from a Facebook group post that I came across, and it's screaming scams and shadiness. So this is something that if you ever have happened to you, you'll know what to do and you won't fall victim to this scam. All right, so the post goes, had my first rider cancel the ride after getting into the car. That is the scam right there. Essentially, somebody orders the ride, you go pick them up. When you're on the route to the drop-off, they cancel the ride and it disappears. Now, this is something where you really need to pay attention to, because if you're not paying attention, it could cost you quite a bit. So going back to this, it says he picked him up at the DFW airport and drove maybe 100 feet and the guy canceled. Swears he did nothing and the app is broken. Yeah, we've heard that one before. I tell him to order the ride again, but he says he can't, and the app won't let him. And then he starts to get irate, telling him to go anyway, and he'll pay cash. Two things. Don't transport people who are paying cash. First of all, most of the time, you can't do that. Secondly, it's grounds for deactivation. Thirdly, if you ever get into an accident, you assume 100% of the liability, and they can turn around and sue you. So don't take it. It's not worth it. Then you don't even know if they're going to pay cash, and they might try to stiff you at the end of the ride. So don't take cash rides. Big thing right there. Going back though, it says, I tell him no. About the same time, the airport popo pull up and tell me to move along. He jumps out and runs back towards the terminal entrance. So first off, good for that driver saying no, not falling for that scam, let alone trying to take cash for a ride. And we all know that riders who are shady are going to be even shadier no matter what they do. So this has red flags all over it. But again, if you're ever on a ride and they cancel, you need to pull over immediately and kick them out. If they say, oh, I don't know what happened, well, either reorder it again or you got to get out right now. When you pull over, make sure it's in a safe, well-lit area. And if you're on the highway, make sure to take the next exit, pull off, and get into a nice, well-lit and safe area and tell them to get out. And again, don't take cash rides for the few reasons that I said before, but mainly because if you take a cash ride and something happens on that ride, you are 100% liable. Your insurance will likely not cover you because you're using your vehicle for commercial purposes. You're not logged into the app and many other things. So this is going to be a real problem when it comes down to it, because you assume 100% of liability. And if a lawsuit's coming, it's coming at you and nobody's there to protect you. It's not worth it. And also, this person was really shady for canceling the ride right off the bat. So he probably won't even end up paying you. So it's not even worth it. Even trying to get cash up front, don't do it. It's not worth it. Just stay away from that as much as possible. But either way, the funny part in this particular thing was that the cops were pulling up and say, move along. Now, in the event of that person not trying to get out or trying to stay in the car, that would have been a great opportunity to say, hey, look, this guy canceled the ride. He was supposed to get a ride, but he canceled it and he refuses to get out of my car. Can you please do something about it? That would have made for a pretty funny story as well, too. All right, for the few people who are watching that have experienced something like this when it comes to getting a ride canceled in the middle of the trip, comment what had happened. Share your story so other people who are reading that may understand exactly how it could happen and how to prevent it and what to do during the times it may happen. All right, that's the end of the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.